So in this video, we are going to be controlling the sprite that displays for our object player as it moves. So the first thing we're going to need to do is to detect if our object is moving. What you can do is you can select OBJ player, just double click on it, it'll bring you to the code editor if that little tab isn't already selected here in your workspace area. So I'm going to have an if condition. If underscore HOR is not equal to 0, or underscore VERT is not equal to 0. If either one of these is not 0, that means it's moving and we need to change our sprite. So the question is which one? So I'm going to have a nested if statement. So I'm going to say if underscore vert is greater than 0. So I don't care about what the actual value is. I'm just looking to say, hey, are you positive? If I'm positive, I'm actually moving down the screen. As I start on the upper left-hand side, being 0, 0. So as my numbers get bigger, I'm moving further down my screen. This does seem a little bit backwards, but I can come in here. I don't have to use my curly braces if it's only going to be one line long. Other people are like, no, we always use the curly braces, so let's use them here. That's, up to you. So I'm going to come here and say curly braces, just so you can kind of see what it looks like with the nested here. I'm going to say sprite index equals, and then I'm going to give it a name. Now the name is one of those that are specified in my sprites. So if I come over here in my sprites, I can see all my different pieces of information. I'm going to be walking down. So this is going to be SPR underscore player walk down. So what happens if my vertical is not greater than 0? Well, we need to check to see if it's less than 0. That means it's moving up. So you can say else if underscore vert is less than 0, sprite index equals SPR player walk up. Else if underscore HOR, my horizontal, is less than 0, that is, I'm going to be moving to the left, sprite index equals SPR underscore player underscore walk underscore left. That leaves us with else sprite index equals SPR player walk right. As you can see, it's a little bit of code, but it's very repetitive. It's very easy. Now you might say, well, why didn't I put the if statement for the last one? Well, in theory, if I know I'm moving and I'm not moving vertically to the left, then I have to be moving to the right. I'm going to save this, click run. If I move left, you notice it goes that way. Of course, when I stop, it still looks like he's walking. We'll have to fix that in a second. I can go right, up, and down. Of course, no matter which way I go, when I stop moving, he looks like he's walking still. Let's stop that, okay? So I'm going to close out of this. Come here to my else. After my initial if block, there's going to be several lines here, so I'm going to use that. Let's say if sprite underscore index equals, notice I have to use two equal signs because I'm checking for equality. A single equal sign is assignment. I'm assigning a value. Two equal signs is I am checking to see, are these two objects or values, should I say, equal? And I'm going to first come over here and just kind of copy and paste sprite player walk down. If so, I'm going to say sprite underscore index equals SPR underscore player underscore idle underscore down. And semicolon. So you might go, okay, well, this is what it looks like if I don't use my brace a little bit more longer. For simplicity, I'm going to come here, copy, else, paste it in, except now instead of down, I'm going to say up. Copy and paste. Now instead of down, I'm going to do left. And then I'm going to say else sprite index equals SPR player idle right. Save that. Click my run. Okay. I move right. I still pause right. I move left. Move up. It seems like no matter what, it wants to always send me to that idle right. I've had this error before. The logic is completely sound if you want to look through this, but it doesn't like it. So I'm going to come over here, just copy this if statement. And instead of left, I'm going to put in right. Click run one more time. Now if I go left, it shows the idle left. Go up, shows idle up. Right shows idle right. Down shows idle down. It's just one of those weird quirks that's inside of it. We just have to be kind of a little patient with it. But once you figure it out, you're good. That is one of those weird little quirks that I have found inside of the coding for GameMaker. I don't always understand why it is. Logically, it should not be doing that. Practically, it is. So is it a combination of the braces or maybe just the logic or maybe the timing of the engine? I can't say. It's just easier to always have that last check if you see little errors like this. And checking as you go makes it a whole lot easier. So keep that in mind, and that's why we did these little checks. Up next, we're going to look at how do we add enemies into our maze that we're going to have to fight. So stay tuned for that because it's up next.